usual note still, regarding my honorable colleague, who raises a very pertinent issue about the election of Speaker for Luwero. The rules of procedure of the Parliament from which we derive our sub-authority, the National Parliament, guide that the Speaker can decide with, let's say, the Commission on in which area they can call the Parliament. As you can all recall, there's a time we had regional parliaments sitting. One sitting in Gulu and another, we had two of them, but never at any did we have a new speaker elected. But the speaker in his wisdom, and it's constitutionally guided, the speaker in their wisdom can set the pertinent issues that we need to address in the region of Uganda. And so they decide on in which area the Parliament shall sit. If there is a surgency in Pankwel, Masaka, so the Parliament goes to Masaka for the leaders in Masaka to air out their views. So likewise, for this Parliament still, the Central Youth Parliament, it would have convened at, let's say, the National Parliament being in Kampala, it would actually have convened at Kampala, Parliamentary Avenue, in the national chambers. But because there are urgent issues that we need to address in Luwero district as a sub-region, and so the Speaker decided in his wisdom that he gets it convened at Jerusalem Hotel, as we are here. Had we put it in Kampala, many of our colleagues there would not have afforded to reach there. I beg to submit.
Thank you for that, and I think the clarification has been made to that effect. I request for maximum order, because I have the rules of procedure with me, and at any time you can seek leave from the House. Let's proceed with the order paper. Yes, Honorable Clerk.
Yes, thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Next on the order paper, we have motions. We are going to have 4 motions, and the first one, motion of the Central Regional Youth Parliament urging government to strengthen youth employment, skills development, and access to economic opportunities. Our second motion, motion of the Central Regional Youth Parliament urging government to enhance digital literacy, online safety, and responsible use of technology among young people. And our third motion, the motion of the Central Regional Youth Parliament urging government to improve access to quality health, education, and mental health services for the young people. And then the last motion, motion of the Central Regional Youth Parliament urging government to strengthen transparency, accountability, and efficient service delivery in public institutions. At this point, Right Honorable Speaker, allow me to welcome Honorable...
Before, I'd like to ask a honorable member to come and move a motion to adopt the order paper the way it is, and I'll also have seconders to that effect in just 30 seconds.
Honorable Speaker and honorable members, my name is Kakande Crispus, and I rise to call this House to allow this order paper to be moved.
Thank you so much, honorable member. Any seconders? You can just raise up your hands. Any 2 seconders to second the motion to adopt the order paper? Yes, Honorable Kata, and yes, Honorable Lady. Thank you so much. We can now have the first motion mover in just 2.5 minutes. Move the motion, the first motion. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker and the honorable members, allow me send you warm greetings. My name is Kakande Crispas. I am a member of this parliament. I represent the people of Nakaseke Town Council. With that, I also represent the RNF team. Mr. Speaker, with great utmost honor, I rise this morning to move a motion. And so it goes. This youth parliament of Central Youth, holding at Luwero, urges government to strengthen youth employment, development of skills, but also access to economic opportunities. Mr. Speaker, it so goes with glaring evidence. I must say it's public knowledge that 70%, 75 or so percent of the population of this nation are youth below the age of 30. That is automatically and performance clear that this country belongs, the future of this country belongs to the minds, to the hands, and to the talents of the young people here and millions outside here. I must say that despite of that fact, many young people wake up every morning with the skills required but no opportunity, with the qualification but no jobs, with the ideas but no capital. I must say still that this is not just about employment. It is not about underemployment. That alone is an indicator of shattered dreams, frustrated families, but also opportunities that are untapped. Mr. Speaker, I must put it on record that we must first of all understand what is unemployment. Unemployment is not just failing to have a job, but it is having the qualifications, having the ability, but failure to find employment, having the ideas, but failure to find the opportunities, and having the skills, but failure to find capital to start up something. I must also say in the introduction that unemployment, as it is not just about Uganda. Worldwide, talk of the US, Europe, talk of Asia, all those countries have the issue of unemployment. But what distinguishes us is that while they also have such a problem, they have progressive, sound steps to solve such a problem. Unlike us, for very many years, this topic has been in debate, be it in the youth parliaments or in the national parliament. But why haven't we found a solution? It's because much of our time has been spent on lamenting and putting up theoretical debates that are really not advancing to the solution to this problem. And Mr. Speaker, behind that, allow me to submit on 2 abridged points in a few minutes. From a lawyer's perspective, and also a person who is well read on this topic, I must say that 1, strengthening unemployment. Mr. Speaker, it is a fact that the unemployment ratio for every year rises. The past years we have been grappling with 12%, 13%, but very unfortunate, and I must inform the members here, that now we are talking of 16%. Honestly, that is too much. That is the frustration we are talking about. Youths having the ideas, having the qualification, but they cannot find.
As you conclude, before, when someone is moving a motion, maybe you will submit. In 30 seconds, please conclude.
All right. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this country, in the 1959, before even the independence of this country, we had the Minimum Wage Advisory Board Act. And one of its intentions was to make sure that there is a minimum wage set for the people. You must realize that in this country, the youths fail to get employment, but also those that get the employment eventually lose it. Reason as to why people are grappling with low payments. You find a private school's teacher earning 300, that's Uganda shillings, a month. You find a porter working full day, 12 hours on a site, and at the end of it all, they're getting 12,000. That is something they cannot bear, and in any event, they will lose that employment. Why is it so? It is so because the government has failed to take a progressive, deliberate step to put up a minimum employment ratio, minimum wage employment ratio. And this is what I mean to say, that in this Uganda, we find that the employment cost is too low compared to the profits. To put it clear, I want to say that in any site where an employer invests 500,000, that is hypothetical, to cater for the production and all the rates paying off the workers, investing 500,000, they eventually get a profit of 12 million, meaning that the saying that goes that the richer become richer and the poor become poorer, it is so a fact that we cannot deny unless we adopt the minimum wage ratio. And the last, in a few seconds, Mr. Speaker, it is about strengthening, it's about skills development, but also opportunities. Mr. Speaker, a case example is the iPhone manufacturers in the USA. These people build the software, they build the designs, and then they send their production to China. Reason as why they do that, because China has a great number of people that they can liaise to work in those companies and assemble and compact all those things, which they deliver as iPhones. Whoa, they are made in USA, but they are assembled in China. Reason is why the Chinese saw it wiser than before any other nation to make sure that they allow those companies, big tech companies, we're talking of Toyotas, we're talking of iPhone brands, Apple brands, to make sure that in their countries, it's where they assemble their products. The same can go in this country.
Thank you, Honorable Member, for that, for moving the motion. You've used strictly 7 minutes. Beyond, no. Maybe conclude in 10 seconds.
Thank you.
Just make your closing remarks.
All right. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, the idea of investing in the youth, it's not a charity. It's rather an idea to put up a progressive nation that will lead to prosperity. And thus far, I beg to move that nation. And I call upon the honorable members here present to support me in moving that motion. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you so much, Member, for that brilliant idea of moving the motion with... Put there. Honorable Member, I'd love to ask the House, 2 honorable members to second the motion so that it can go to the third phase of debate. Any seconders of the motion, you raise up, say your name, then you state that I, Derek Kakoza, I would love to second the motion, number 1, which states that this and this. Only 2 honorable members that can second the motion. Yes, honorable member, raise. Then who is the next seconder? Please, you can come over also.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. First, by names of Chamber Dauda, Chairperson, Youth, Luwero Town Council. Right Honorable Speaker, rise here to second the motion which is saying that urging government to strengthen youth employment, skills development, and also access to economic opportunities. I second it, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member, for that.
Right Honorable Speaker and the esteemed House, I'm Chimbo Abdul Sharif, a delegate to the 8th National Youth Parliament, and of course delegated to the Central Youth Parliament. I stand here to second the motion of the Central Youth Parliament that the motion states that the Central Youth Parliament urging the government to address with urgency the socio-economic hardships that have limited access to basic social services like health and education. Honorable Speaker, I beg to submit.
Thank you so much, Honourable Member. Now at this a particular time, I would love to invite the House to debate the motion as moved and seconded by the Honourable House. Over to you. Please come over. You have strictly 2 minutes. Submit on any motion, one by one. Yes, Honourable Member? No, you first raise up your hand, then we choose you for order.
Right Honourable Speaker, allow me to inform this August House that Right Honourable Speaker, the distinguished guests, allow me to inform this August House, basing on the motion that argues that the government of Uganda to strengthen youth employment, skills development, and access to economic opportunities. First of all, my name is Nanteza Viola, the female youth councillor of Luwero District and vice chairperson of Luwero District, 2026-2031. Mr. Speaker, I stand strongly to support this motion that the government of Uganda must strengthen youth employment, skills development, and access to economic opportunities. We are very much aware that Uganda is one of the youngest countries in this world, with the majority of its population below 35 years. This youthful population should be Uganda's greatest asset. However, without enough jobs, relevant skills, and opportunities, this demographic advantage can become a serious challenge to our nation. According to 2024 National Population and Housing Census, youth unemployment among those aged 18 to 30 stands at about 16%, while approximately 51% of young people are neither employed in education nor in training. These figures demonstrate that many young Ugandan youths remain excluded from productive economic participation. My argument number one on employment. Employment is the foundation of national development. When I speak about that, employment is not all about earning income, but it enables even young people to support their families, pay taxes, reduce dependency, build businesses, and contribute to economic growth. When young people remain unemployed, we expect poverty levels to be at a high increase, crime rises, drug abuse increases, mental health problems, they also worsens, and social instability grows. A nation cannot achieve sustainable development when millions of young people remain idle. For instance, many graduates, especially from different institutions, like maybe Makerere University, Kyambogo University, and so on and so forth, spend years looking for employment despite having qualifications. And many eventually resort to border riding, street vending, casual labor, unstable informal jobs. This shows that the education alone is no longer enough. Argument number two, Uganda needs more practical skills than certificates. Why? We need to reform the education system of Uganda because we are having a number of young people who have graduated but basing on the market needs. you see the jobs are not matching. Because you find out that basing on the education system of Uganda, it is more of theory, whereby we are training more youths to become job seekers than job creators. Then in addition to that, the government should invest more in technical institutions, vocational education, ICT training, digital literacy, artificial intelligence, agribusinesses, manufacturing, tourism, and so on and so forth. Therefore, young people should graduate ready to solve problems, not simply to seek for office work and jobs. Because we are very much aware, Mr. Speaker, sir, that we know very well that the problems that our society are facing, they are even not colored in any political parties, but these are real problems that our societies are facing. Therefore, if we reform the education system, we shall be at the same pace. Mr. Speaker, allow me also to argue on this issue of youths. They need access even to affordable capital. Many young people have business ideas but lack capital. Then also, in addition to that, the government should therefore increase youth livelihood programs, funding, strengthen a MEOGA program, expand parish development model opportunities, provide affordable youth loans, reduce interest rates, and also improve on financial literacy. For the interest of time, Mr. Speaker, all right. Thank you. I beg to submit.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member, for that. We will search to work and submission. Now, Honorable Members, if I ring the bell once, that means that you've used 2 minutes of your time. Now, you have the 30 seconds to conclude on the submission. Then if you hear the bell twice, that means your time is done. Thank you. The second Honorable Member to submit. Yes. You then, Honorable Member.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. The August House, a very good morning. I bring you greetings from Nakaseke District, the land that brought the ruling government into the governance. I stand to support the motion urging government to strengthen youth employment, skills, and access to economic opportunities. On the issue of economic opportunities and employment, as the current speaker said, Uganda is one country with the youngest population, but we have an issue of employment. For instance, in Nakaseke, we have degree holders who are there as of now. On a scale of 100, you find about 50% they are there in the village. After getting their bachelor's, they go back and do the cattle rearing. This wouldn't be what we need, because these people have got the human capital that would be put into consideration to develop our area and majorly the whole entire Greater Luwero and the country at large. This issue, we urge the government, we come with solutions. There have been issue of PDM had done a good work within our communities. But the bureaucracy within which people, the young people, get that money, it is causing a lot of harm. The government is trying, yes, to put programs to eradicate the youth unemployment, but this is causing a lot of issues. You find it is on record. In the entire Nakaseke district, on a scale, very few young leaders, the chairperson who are supposed to monitor government programs, they are not the people among the committees. And this, the government is bringing it to reduce that gap, people to have something instead of being job seekers. We urge the government, we come with the ideas. On top of these programs, I've heard the precurrent speaker say about the livelihood. That program, it was good, but it has issues. Concerning one, the monitoring, you find people who got that money. The people who got that money, the last 10 years, that is still effective, many people have not paid. And there's no procedure of revolving that money, of getting it from the young people. And they are requesting now the young people to take on the mandate to request for that money to be paid back. What is the work of the technical people? This is where the youth need to take the center stage right away from the start. We urge the government, let the government have demonstration farms within, at least in the sub-regional. These demonstration farms will help the young people because our main issue, we don't have capital, we don't have land, but we have ideas. These demonstration farms, if they are put into sub-regional, they will do a good work where I, who is a farmer, I can go and benchmark, get seedlings from there. Let me summarize. Get seedlings from there and do something. So we urge the government to solve this issue. Let them be established within the sub-regional. I believe if they are within those areas, the issue of unemployment, these young people, if they get money, they can employ the many, and there will not be an issue of unemployment regarding even the increasing number of the population. I conclude by saying, we are not asking for handouts. We are asking for a chance. Don't just give us jobs, but give us a skill. Give us capital, give us opportunity. We can eradicate the unemployment and be job creators. I beg to submit.
Well, thank you so much, Honourable Member, for that. A well-elaborated submission as per our motion. Any other submission? Yes, Honourable Member, then you. I'll take those three. Any ladies from Kasongole? Right. We have 4 motions, so in case you've not submitted on this one, the next one, the other.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Kanyike Glenn. I'm coming from Dejo University and serving as the special nominee in the Guild Representative Council. I hereby stand before you, the Honorable House, to definitely support this motion. First thing that came into my mind when I read this motion, one of the key concepts that I picked was employment creation, skills development, entrepreneurship, technical and vocational education, youth empowerment, industrialization, innovation, and technology access to finance. Honorable members, we all know that right now in our country, the highest percentage of the population is surviving under the informal section or the informal sector. And it's quite unfortunate that this sector has not been noticed or it has not been highly recognized by government. How? The informal sector lacks the social protection, it lacks the government procurement, and also lacks the quality standards that we need to strengthen it. How? Under the social protection, we look at many border men. These colleagues of ours, they ride motorcycles. But one day, this guy can become sick. And unfortunately, one hospital bill can take you into poverty or can clear up all the capital that you have been having within your pocket. So what am I trying to put forth here?
that the government should enact laws within this informal sector, whereby these people within the informal section can have insurance, such as health insurance. Like each month, it must be a must, whether you are a banana seller, whether you are a farmer, whether you are riding a boda boda, whether you are a hairdresser somewhere. It is a must for you to pay some little amount of money, such that when this bill comes up, at least you have somewhere to start from and not falling away. Because when I look at this, we shall be strengthening the youth employment at large and avoiding unemployment due to one hospital bill or due to one bill of education. Yes.
Inquiry granted in 10 seconds.
Taxes on fuel, stages where they park their boda bodas. Let's take an example. Boda bodas, as you chose. Yes, rent on where they park their boda bodas, food and everywhere. And those taxes have been misused over time by government officials, and we have not seen them work. We have paid for garbage, and that very garbage still stays by the road, by the streets. How sure are we that if these people pay for their health insurance, it will be functional against what is happening, where people are paying for garbage, garbage stays on the streets, people pay taxes to have medicine in the hospitals, but you go there, all you can receive is a doctor's recommendation, but you can't get medicine. You still have to run back. Won't that health insurance recommendation, as you state, still, won't it revert back to the normal that we have accepted as Ugandans? That government can pick money from us and still doesn't fulfill on its obligations.
My answer to you, Honorable Member, is when I talk about enacting this law, it should not be mandatory that government should be the one getting this money from the people. Secondly, we all know that most, even the own public institutions of health that we have, they are also not having enough medication. So which means we should now empower more of the private sector. Why? It has provided capability that chances of corruption are low and less. Thank you. Then my other point is, as I conclude, is that we are having nowadays a lot of graduates and they are lacking employment. Why? Because the industries that are there, they claim they want people of experience of about 10 years, 15 years. And yet, in another way around, we can get a solution to this. If we have graduates that have graduated just from campus or university, we need to reduce the taxes that have been placed onto these different businesses and these different industries that are already existing. These industries, especially those that are employing the youth and also those graduates, in that they can be motivated to employ more people into their industries in as much as they have not gained the experience, but they can be trained in these industries for a certain period of time, but without moving on when they are very unemployed. Thank you very much, Honorable.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. Now allow me have Honorable Member, then you last, Lord Councillor.
Right, Honorable Speaker, the honorables around, I welcome you all to this session. Sanjugo Rogers is my name. I'm from Nakasongola, and I am a student leader. So, being a student leader...
Where? From where?
From Nakasongola. It is Nakasongola Senior Secondary School. Yes. Being a student leader, it means that I have to do a lot to my friends. I have to be the spark of what they want and of what I want also to put there. So, for me, what I've identified is that in our district there, we have only one technical institute. That means we have seen all Uganda, they need practical, not theory. We have had industries, they need practical, not theory, because you will not go to bring your theory there, you start working, operating the machine, no. We have seen infrastructures being constructed by engineers, but they undergo practical. They learn how to drive those tractors, it is practical. So if you go to army, for you to earn more in army, you have to first get a course, then you go. That means you have to first go under practical before you go. So all the basis is on practical. We should learn, or the government should equip many infrastructures, but with the emphasis of practicals. Institutions should be included, should be involved or added on. They should be added on in number, so that we can all go there and have those skills. Not getting there like you be skilled in English, but you have to get that practical part of it for you to run it. So even in the schools, we have laboratories are there. We are doing less practical, but you have much theory. So why don't we involve more practicals there in chemistry? The learner to come from secondary to university, when is well equipped with practicals?
I'd like to close this motion, to put it to you, Honorable Speaker, to close this motion, but also to give us an assurance of the progress and substantiation of what we have stated and what we have elaborated. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you so much. And it's on record. The clerk is noting on everything, the minutes. That means that they will be shared. And as we go for the National Youth Parliament, we shall front the above motions to the House for consideration. We've done that before. The Startup Capital bill, it came from the National Youth Parliament. So we discussed it and it went to the National Parliament for consideration and it was passed. And any seconders to close the motion? 2? You can just raise up your hand. It is simple. Thank you, honorable members. Clerk, we'll go to the second motion.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. And on to our second motion. The motion of the Central Regional Youth Parliament urging government to enhance digital literacy, online safety, and responsible use of technology among young people. Over to you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Who is the motion mover? List Honorable Carter, please you can come over in strictly 5 minutes to move the motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Kata Jorin. I am the Secretary for Finance of Luwero District Youth Council, and it is a pleasure hosting the Central Youth Parliament in our district. Right Honorable Speaker, motion 6.2 on the order paper states that urging government to enhance digital literacy, online safety, and responsible use of technology among the young people. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, the world today runs on data connectivity and digital skills. Yet, as this House deliberates, the majority of young Ugandans remained locked out of the digital economy, not because they lack ambition, but because the infrastructure, affordability, and safety nets have not caught up with the promise of technology. According to Data Reporter's Digital 2025 report, only 14.2 million Ugandans, that is about 28% of our population, were using the internet at the start of 2025. That means more than 70% of Ugandans, the overwhelming majority of them are rural, remain offline. The Uganda Communications Commission, UCC itself, has confirmed that rural broadband penetration remains below 30%, while urban centers enjoy internet usage rates several times higher. Honorable members, a rural teenager in Wabsana, Chichusa sub-county, or in Nakasongola, and an urban teenager in Kampala are being prepared for 2 entirely different centuries. The Mobile Gender Gap report as well found that only 19% of Ugandan women use the internet compared to 27% of men. Honorable members, there is a gender gap when it comes to digital literacy in Uganda. Right, Honorable Speaker, this is not merely a social equity issue, it is an economic one as well. Research cited in the recent digital inclusion reporting shows that 10% increase in broadband penetration is associated with 1.2% rise in GDP. That is Uganda's own girls in the ICT initiative run by the Communications Commission has already trained more than 3,000 women across 15 districts, with over 9% of participants securing part-time employment or income-generating work within the 6 months. These numbers prove that when we invest in digital skilling, results follow. Honorable members, connecting our youth to the internet without equipping them how to navigate it is safely dangerous. There is cyberbullying, online exploitation, misinformation, and data exploitation. These are realities our young people already face daily. often with no guidance from schools or parents on how to protect themselves. We have the Uganda's Data Protection and Privacy Act, CAP 97, which gives us legal foundation. What is missing is public awareness, enforcement, and a national curriculum on responsible digital citizenship that reaches every secondary school, university, tertiary, and vocational institutions. Across Africa, digital jobs for young people are projected to reach into the hundreds of millions by the end of this decade. Countries that invest early in that connectivity, affordable data, and digital skilling stand to capture that opportunity faster than Uganda. Uganda's youthful population among the most youthful. Uganda is among the most youthful continents in the world, and it should be positioned to lead this wave, not to trail behind it. Right, Honorable Speaker, I therefore urge this House to call upon government through the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance and Ministry of Science and Technology and Innovation, plus the Ministry of Education and Sports to expand affordable rural connectivity, mainstream digital literacy, and strengthen enforcement of our data protection laws. I beg to move.
Thank you so much, Honorable Kata, for that submission. Any seconders of the motion? Yes, Honorable Member, and thank you, Honorable Members, for that. And now open the House for debate on the above motion. Strictly 2 minutes for each member of the House that will come up to speak. If you've spoken, there's more likely not to be called on for this. You'll be called for the third one. So for those that have not submitted yet, please come over. I've seen more of Nakasongoland and Nakaseke. Let me see other. Granted.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Your submission seems to be overthrowing this document that you gave us to follow, I think a week ago, that has the order paper and all members had to prepare. If a member prepared for more than 3 motions and is well addressed to the facts to be discussed, why are you barring them from discussing? Are you going to open people's lips to speak against their will? If that's not so, if that's not the case, I beg that you let the House flow. If members came here to listen, to be listening posts, let the cameraman move the camera so that the people of whichever areas they come from get to know that their representatives are as quiet as their members of parliament. I beg to submit.
Thank you, remember, for that. Yes, you raise on the point of? Yes, point of information in 5 seconds. And the first member to submit, please.
Mr. Speaker, I want to raise the point of information. You've been saying that you only seeing colleagues from Nakaseke, Nakasongola, and you're not pointing out to Luwero. We are coming from Luwero. Madam Kata has been there. Madam Pros has discussed something. I'm also coming from Luwero. We are getting ashamed because how can people hear that the lead of government business, the vice chairperson, they are not saying anything? Mr. Speaker, it's unfair. I beg to submit for the issues of gender balances and equality. Yes, we need to discuss all, but you should also consider the gender equality and the gender issue. Thank you. I beg to submit, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you so much for that. I withdraw that statement. And do we have any persons able differently in the House? Any persons able differently? All right, thank you. I open up the House for discussion of the motion. Colleagues? Yes, honorable member, in 2 minutes, please come up.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for this opportunity. I must clarify, Mr. Speaker, that I am Kakande Crispas, representing the people of Nakaseke Town Council. Mr. Speaker, I raise to support the motion as raised by the honorable member on particularly one aspect, and this is about digital literacy in terms of banking and then cash flow. Honorable Speaker, it is now a fact that majority of the youth have access to mobile money, e-bank services, and so many other platforms in line to money movement and transformation. However, Mr. Speaker, the problem that there is that our government has failed to take deliberate steps to promote this aspect in the way that if our government is proposing that we are moving to a cashless economy where money is moved on phones, on debt cards, and all that. Mr. Speaker, it should be the role of government to support this by removing extra cash fee transaction. You know that if I am sending money to a colleague in Nakasongola, why do I have to pay an extra fee of, let me say, 1,000, 2,000 to do that? Because we are saying that we are moving to a paperless economy. That should be swift and easy to do. And in that way, this will increase the youth participation in this in line to economical development and, of course, moving the economy to a greater height. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you so much for that submission. Any person to submit on the motion? One last one before we close. Yes, honorable member, you're most welcome. As we proceed with our debate, please let me hope you've signed on the 3 forms that have been moving around. If you've not, please, you can always ask for one so that you can sign on those. It will be on record to the National Youth Parliament that you participated in this sub-regional parliament. You have strictly 2 minutes and then 30 seconds to conclude on your point. Thank you.
Thank you.
Members, order. Nkoyoyo, Honorable Nkoyoyo, let's maintain the order in the House.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I am by the name of Azuna Justice, District Male Youth Council and Nakaseke District. Right Honorable Speaker, my submission is about the motion that states urging government enhance digital literacy, online safety, and responsible use technology among young people. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, we live in a digital age, yet many of our young people are navigating that age without the necessary skills or protection. While Central Region schools are relatively better connected than those in other parts of the country, significant gaps remain in devices, reliable internet, and digital skills training. At the same time, our children and youth face serious online risks, cyberbullying, sexual exploitation, misinformation, and privacy violation. Studies show that a high proportion of Uganda children who use the internet have encountered harmful content or unwanted sexual. Girls are particularly vulnerable. Digital literacy is no longer optional. It is the best skill for education, employment, civic participation, and personal safety. Yet many young people leave school without the ability to critically evaluate online information, protect their personal data, or use technology productively. Right Honorable Speaker, therefore this House must therefore call upon government fully integrate digital literacy and online safety
into national curriculum from primary to tertiary level. Accelerate the provision of affordable internet and devices in schools and youth centers across Central Region and beyond. Strengthen enforcement of online children protection laws and create accessible reporting mechanisms. Support establishment of youth digital innovations hubs that also teach responsible digital citizenship. Right Honorable Speaker, therefore, as I conclude, technology can be a powerful tool for progress, but only if young people are equipped to use it wisely and safely. I beg to move. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honourable Member, for that wonderful submission on the motion above. Any last from a Honourable Lady? Yes, Honourable Lady, thank you so much. You can come over. Thank you for being smart for this sitting and according the House the demeanor and decorum it deserves. Well, thank you so much, Honourable Member. You can see that the smartness correlates with the submission. A round of applause. With that, I would love to beg of you, one Honourable Member, to come and move a motion to close the above motion at hand. Yes, Lord Councillor. Honourable Lady. To close the above motion. Sergeant at Arms, please. Sergeant at Arms, first. And for the honourable members that have not said anything in the House, please prepare for the next one. The motions are getting done, and I would love everyone to say something, or else I'll force those that have not said anything to come here, say their names, and then go back and sit. So to avoid that, and it's on record, we are live on Faraja TV. So to avoid that, please say something. Thank you.
Right Honorable Speaker, through your chair, basing on this motion that urges the government of Uganda to enhance digital literacy, online safety, and responsible use of technology among the young people. Basing on the first presenters, I strongly support this motion, basing on the following issues, because according to the motion, we are very much aware that we are living in the fourth industrial revolution, where technology influences almost every aspect of life: education, employment, health care, agriculture, business, banking, governance, and communication, whereby Uganda cannot fully develop if its young people lack the following skills needed to compete in the money economy. Therefore, I, Nateza Viola, female youth council representing the young people of Luwero, I strongly oppose this motion. Thank you. I beg to move.
Thank you so much, Honorable Lord Councillor. And we shall take a vote on how we can second. And those in support of the motion say aye, and those in contrary say nay. Those in support say aye, and those in contrary say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk, we can move to the third motion.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Now on to the third motion. The motion of the Central Regional Youth Parliament urging government to improve access to quality health, education, and mental health services for young people.
Who is the mover? Thank you so much. You have strictly 4 minutes.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Once again, to be on record, I'm Samuel Kambume from Nakaseke District, in charge of Greater Luwero, Uganda Youth Council, and Finance Nakaseke. I stand to move a motion on order paper 6.3, urging government improve access to quality education, health, and mental health services for the young people. Right Honorable Speaker, when we speak of the youth development, we often confine our conversation mostly on jobs and classes, but we forget the nursery bed of everything is education and is good health. As has always been said by His Excellency and the President, that if you want to be someone, you need good health, you need to educate yourself, and you need to be informed. Uganda has a total of 88,242 schools and approximate to 13.57 million learners on the scale of this primary, secondary, and also tertiary. As at the launch of the state of Uganda's operation before 2025, the Minister of Health, the former Dr. Jane Lusacheng, the current Chief Whip, warned that the human capital development cannot be achieved while mental health continues to deteriorate. And the former Minister of Finance once said, our country is a crisis of silent emergency fueled by rising unemployment and mental retardation. Recently, so with with the Ministry of Health, saying that we need to create a day for men to be in order to have some issues. As of 2022, an estimate of 14 million Ugandans, approximately, to 30 to 35, the entire population, were living with some form of mental disorder. It's on record. We are here arguing the government. I want to thank this parliament today for bringing this in ordered paper. I put on record by profession, I'm a science teacher. I know what it means with education. Government is trying to have a new curriculum which is already in place, but with very many issues. And I want to zero this, since we are in Great Luwero, our debate on Great Luwero with live examples, that our leaders at national, when you see even at national youth parliament, you have this into consideration. That's why we are here in the Great Luwero. For the case of Nakaseke district, in the constituency, North constituency, do you still believe members of parliament here that it is just of recent that we have got a level in the entire constituency? This is a constituency that has been supporting. Let me not go there. Within Nakaseke district, it is only now they have put Kinyogoga State Secondary School. Ngoma Secondary School was just started last year at a higher institution. It is now the government.
No, not yet. Maybe you'll submit. Is moving a motion, then the House is going to be open for debate.
Yes, thank you.
As you conclude.
As I conclude, you take the health centers. When you take a scale, if I go to micro level, we are just upgrading to health center for a case of Ngoma. And we believe for the young people to be who they are and take the nation as we advocate. If we don't have the foundation of this, if we don't have good health, the medicine to be in place to cater for these young people, we have a very big trauma. Regardless of whether we advocate for youth food, whatever, but without the basics, the necessary rate, we are incapable. As I conclude, Right Honorable, a health educated and mentally strong young person in this era is going to take our country and our nation to the future. If we have the bad health, if we are not educated, don't have those facilities, whatever we debate, that means we are not nurturing the next generation. I beg to move the motion.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member, for moving that motion. Any seconders? Any two seconders? Thank you so much, Honorable Members, for seconding the motion. Now the House is open for debate and discussion. Now, motion 3 is very, very crucial to our stay and to our lives as Ugandans. We know that if you're not healthy, be mentally, be physical, of course you can't operate. Meaning that we have to put more focus on how are our health centers and services being provided within the areas that we live in. Meaning that if you are not mentally well, then you can't reason and you can't think of anything that is productive. That's why I would love to implore the entire House for a very motivated debate on this motion. And then for the ladies, of course, you need to make comments as far as sexual reproductive health rates are concerned. You must ask questions like, if at all why are condoms actually provided for free and not sanitary pads? If at all we have to enhance and make sure that the health of the young girls and the women and the ladies, it's actually put at the forefront. I implore all of you to come to the floor. I'll add 1 more minute to everyone that will come on the floor to debate on the motion, health care, sexual reproductive health, and mental health. I open up the house for discussion. Yes, honorable member, then honorable lady, then honorable sir. In that order, honorable, not you, like the other one. You, yes, yes. Let's give solutions. Let's give alternatives to government on how best we can have this enhanced. Thank you.
Sense of responsibility to support this important motion, improving access to quality health, education and mental health services for young people. Right Honorable Speaker, I stand before this House as the youth representative of Uganda, carrying the voices of hopes and aspirations of young people from Uganda. However,
your name and where you're coming from?
I am fully aware that responsibility placed upon me extends beyond the boundaries of Uganda. I speak today for every young Ugandan, whether from hills of Uganda, the plains of Karamoja, the communities of Acholi, the farms of Bunyoro, the islands of Kalangala, or any other part of our beloved nation. Right Honorable Speaker, nation is not built by roads, buildings, and industries alone. A nation is built by the quality of its people. The greatest investment Uganda can make is an investment in a health, educated, and mentally resilient generation. Mr. Speaker, a young person who is healthy can attend school, acquire skills, and contribute to economic growth. A young person who receives quality education can innovate, create employment, and provide solutions to national challenges. A young person with good mental health can overcome challenges, make responsible decisions, and make a productive citizen. However, many Ugandans continue to face barriers that prevent them from reaching their full potentials. The question before this House is not whether young people have dreams, but the question is whether we are creating the environment necessary for those dreams to come in reality. Yes, Honorable Mr. Speaker, my first submission is all about, I want to urge the government to strengthen quality, relevancy, and accessibility of education for young people. Education is the foundation upon which individuals, communities, and nations evolve. It provides young people with knowledge, skills, values, and confidence to participate meaningfully in the society. Yes. Across Uganda, including districts like Nakasongola, Mukono, Luwero, Masaka, and Mityana, many learners continue to face challenges such as inadequate learning materials, laboratory facilities are of lack, yes, shortage of teachers, and unequal access to digital learning opportunities. A learner studying physics without practical equipment may understand theories but lack. In my conclusion, Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, allow me to remind this House that young people are not merely beneficiaries of national development. They are partners in building it. A healthy youth population will build stronger communities. An educated youth population will create uneducated youth population and mentally supported. Supported, we will not judge, and not supported youth population will lead with confidence, creativity, and resilience. Mr. Speaker, history will not judge us by the promises we make today, but by the opportunities we create for the generation that will inherit this tomorrow, this nation tomorrow. Let us therefore make a commitment that no young Ugandan should abandon a dream because they lacked access to quality education, healthcare, or mental health support. As the youth representative of Uganda, I probably stand with the youth of my region, but I stand even more strongly with the youth of Uganda as one united generation. Honorable Speaker, I beg to submit.
Thank you so much for that powerful submission. Let's follow the order that I had set. After Honorable Lady, then we shall have Honorable Sir, then Honorable Lady again. Lord Councillor, maybe you come in later. Yes, come over. Thank you so much, Honorable Lady, for that. Point of information too. Honorable Member, you can stay for 5 seconds for point of information. Sergeant at hand, please come over. Come here, like at the floor. Use strictly 10 seconds for your point of information. On the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I liked Honorable Member's submission on the aspect of quality health. Mr. Speaker, my point of information stems from the General Comment 14 that interprets Article 12 of the ICSR rules. I would like to have her take on comprehensive sexual education. From her submission, she mentions of access to health education in universities and in schools. So what is her take on comprehensive sexual education?
Thank you so much, Honorable Lady. You can reply in 5 seconds.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, sir. Honorable, don't laugh. Okay, I kindly request one honorable to help me. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, sir.
Welcome. Thank you for that. I think she will give you a reply in writing. Thank you so much. Less Honorable Sir, you can.
Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable members, I'm Sonko Ismail, Mayor of this council, Nakasongo District, representing the young people of the entire Nakasongo land. I'm here to support the motion as stated, urging the government to improve access quality health education and mental health service for the younger people of Uganda. Mr. Speaker, sir, allow me to talk about the challenges faced by the younger people of Uganda as they are getting help in their respective communities. People today are facing a lot of challenges. One, I'll talk about the lack of facility, lack of drugs in our facilities. A lot of people are dying because the government has failed to provide enough drug in our health facilities. And when you find the government provides drug, it's not enough to our people. People today over the facility, they are getting drugs in quotas. So you can find that drug can't be enough to be given to our people. I request the government to give or to provide drugs according to the number they are working on. Mr. Speaker, sir, in Nakasongo district, we have a big challenge. We don't have a referral hospital. So our people are dying in the way heading to Kasana looking for good service. So we have requested the government for several times to give us the referral hospital so that they stop that large number of young people who are dying looking for good service. Today we have a challenge of bribes in the health facilities. People to be worked on, they have to first pay, and which is not good to our people. Others, they are lacking money to be paid first to get treatment. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, allow me to submit.
Thank you so much, Honourable Member, for that well-elaborated submission. Before Lord Councillor, Honourable Lady, you can come and make a submission. Yeah, another smart lady to the floor of Parliament. I'd love to appreciate the ladies that have outsmarted the gents. Please proceed. For that, let me add you 1 more minute.
Honorable Speaker and the House, for the purpose of record, my name is Sharon Namayanja, the representative of young people of Nakaseke district. Honorable Speaker, on the motion that we are on, that says urging government to improve access to government, urging government to improve access to quality health, education, and mental health services for young people. Honorable Speaker, as we know that we are making up to 75% of the population, but worrying enough that youth struggle with stress, anxiety, depression, as one of the colleagues said, but 1% can access help. That is, it's a bit pity to the young people. Honorable Speaker, therefore, if the government invests in health and education now, you may health centers. And another one is that let it be free essential drugs in the healthy centers, because you find out you go to the healthy center, they just write for you the tablets to buy from outside, and you find out that these young people cannot even afford to buy those drugs. So let the government work upon that. Then another one, let the government budget for the adolescent stage. Previously, I had the members of parliament, our members of parliament, as they were going to Chakwans, one of the members of parliament said, let us budget for the condoms. And I was like, these people, they are just thinking about themselves. Yet we have the young girls in schools who cannot even afford to buy a packet of sanitary pads. So, and it has made most of the young girls to drop out of schools. Therefore, I call upon the government to come out with a budget that can help and support the girls, mainly the girls who are going into the menstruation period, by providing them the free sanitary pads in schools. And another one, it is to have the peer support programs. This can be in the communities where we are staying, and even in schools. If this program is there, in the schools, then, Honorable Speaker, I'll end up with this. Let's address the social issues. This can also be done as peers by having the sensitization about the teenage pregnancy in our districts, in our areas where we are staying, and even in the schools. Because if you help that girl to stay in school, you're helping the nation, and all of the struggles that the government are undergoing, they will be solved. Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. I don't disagree.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member, for that. And her submission reminds me of one of the popular quotes by Hillary Clinton when she stated that women's rights are human rights and human rights are women's rights, meaning that the women's human health rights are equally human rights to the entire nation. Thank you so much for that submission. And I'd love to lastly have Honorable Member first.
Thank you, right, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Members. I rise to support motion 6.3, right, Honorable Speaker, which is saying, urging government improve access to quality health, education and mental health services for young people. Because, right, Honorable Speaker, the life of young people and the people of Uganda at large is at stake, right, Honorable Speaker and right, Honorable Members. First, I will talk about health. Many young people here in Luwero Town Council and across the central region cannot afford treatment at private clinics, you all know. And also, the government health centers lack drugs, and young people end up self-medicating themselves, which is positive, as we all know that 68% of the youth in the central region work in a way that harm them. So, we are losing youth to presentable diseases like malaria, typhoid, and also STIs, simply because services are not accessible or youth-friendly. Secondly, right, Honorable Speaker, and also right, Honorable Members, as we all know that education is the best equalizer, but many youth in the central region and Uganda at large have dropped out of schools due to different issues like school fees, and some have dropped out due to lack of scholastic materials and poor facilities. And also, right, Honorable Speaker, vocational schools like welding, tailoring, and ICT are not well funded by the ministry. And if you want employment, as we talked about under motion 6.1, then we must invest in quality education and skills. Thirdly, when we talk about mental health, right, Honorable Speaker, mental health, this is a silent crisis, right, Honorable Members, as you all know. Depression, anxiety, and also drug abuse and suicide are rising among youth, as you know. But there are no counselors in schools,
talking about mental health is still a taboo. A young people who is mentally unwell cannot work, so cannot build this mighty nation. So, Right Honorable Speaker, I urge you, the Minister of Health, and equip health centers with which are youth friendly and also essential drugs in the central region and in the world government at large. And also, I urge you, the Minister of Health and Education, to increase funding to UPE and USE, and also vocational institutes, so no youth is left behind, as some of our friends are being left behind. And also to recruit counselors in schools. Here, Right Honorable Speaker, with those few remarks, I beg to submit.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. Yes, Honorable colleague.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorables in the House. I'm Chenekene, Mr. Chairperson, Central Town Council. So, I move to the motion 630, urging the government to improve access to quality health, education, and mental health services to young people. I do thank the government. Okay, first of all, I thank it. It has promoted education from primary, secondary, and university. But on that, basing on the list we made here, I don't know whether we have people with disability here. Do we? So, Speaker, this time maybe we try that. We get them. These people are left behind. We do in Nakaseke, we do not have any school of people with disability, but there are also youths and young. So I urge the government to think about that. They try to construct at least one school per district of people with disability. With that case, I also urge the government to try and think about people like I lost a son with asthma. We do not have any services with people with asthma in those government schools. Their medicine is too expensive. We could not afford as youths, yet we have to produce to make our government or the population grow higher. But in government hospitals, we lack some medical facilities. Mr. Speaker, I also urge the government to act on the means of transport, mostly in the hospitals and at the government schools. We have schools of government, like for primary schools and secondary. But people travel, or our children travel long distances to access the schools. I think the government is able to try get vehicles so that they can transport our fellow youths to the school, and that can help to decrease the outbreak of the children from school. On the issue of mental health, government is also giving out licenses to people growing up like marijuana. Some people call it
Order.
virtual.
Before order. Who is the only member that his phone has just rung in the house? Please take a break of strictly 2 minutes from the other corner. Lord Councillor, was that you? No, Honorable Lady. Then who? Oh, Honorable Sir, please take a break in the gardens and have some fresh air. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So I was on the issue
Sergeant at Arms, please work on that. Please proceed.
Thank you, sir, Mr. Speaker. So I was still on the issue of mental health. Many young or youths are involved in drug abuse. Mostly, people know it as Kwacho. We have marijuana and alcohol. The government has given a license to people making alcohol of less prices, 1,000, someone can. Yet, people or youths are not given employed. They are not employed. One goes to beg a friend 1,000, he gets that 1,000, he moves to drug abuse. With those points, Mr. Speaker, I thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member, for that. Pardon? Point of? Proceed. Please come here in 10 seconds.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on a point that the previous speaker has just made, Mr. Speaker, it is very important to understand that one of the things, the core of the problems that we're talking about is the deliberate refusal of the government to incorporate comprehensive sex education in the education system. It is said that a child today in their mother's basement has more access to women pornography than a king in the medieval ages. So if government is still thinking that they are keeping saints by refusing to teach children the dangers of abortion, the goodness of abortion, the dangers of drugs, we're still making a mistake. So
You said the goodness of abortion?
yes, the goodness of abortion.
What would be that?
And the dangers of abortion. Of course, by letting somebody carry a child that they got through rape, that is enough mental torture. That is a fact. So it is up to the government to incorporate comprehensive sex education to the youth between 14, in the way that they don't have to get this information from hearsay, but rather make informed decisions from what they learn. Unfortunately, we keep this and think we are keeping saints, and we want to teach them about sex education when they get to universities or high school. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you so much for that. And point of information. Please, Honorable Kata, can you come over to the floor? Lord Councillor, you're raising on a point of... Okay, after.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I'd like to inform this August House that Ministry of Health, through the Minister, Honorable Chris Palomos, declared Uganda Ebola-free as of yesterday, 28th July, 2026. And in the same manner, I would like to inform this House, through you, Right Honorable Speaker, that disease burden in Uganda is largely spread through preventable conditions like poor sanitation, nutrition, and hygiene. Therefore, we thank the Cabinet for its decision it made to declare every last Saturday of the month a National Cleaning Day. However, we still have a burden of garbage. Even when we cleaned the city on Saturday, I hope all honorable members of this House did the cleaning, garbage has not yet been collected, and that risks our health still at large, and this is the motion for this honorable House to deliberate. I beg to submit. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Honorable Lord Councillor, in less than 10 seconds, then the chairperson, you will follow suit.
Mr. Speaker, I want to raise a point of procedure, and this August House should be able to know on today's motion that urges the government to improve on the access of quality health, education, mental health services for young people. We should be aware that the wealth of a nation is measured not only by its natural resources, but by the health and education of its people. These are not even merely words said by Nelson Mandela, that education is the most powerful weapon we can use to transform and change this nation. But we should put it into mind that we should use education to open up the doors. The health we give will give us strength to move and walk through them, and also the mental well-being will give us confidence to keep moving. Therefore, there is no health without mental health. Uganda's greatest resource is not its minerals or its land. It is its young people. When we invest in their health, education, mental well-being, we are investing in a strong economy, safer communities, and also a more prosperous nation. Every healthy young person is a productive citizen, so I want to inform this august house that every educated young person is a problem solver. Every young person with a good mental health is better equipped to live, innovate, and serve.
Order granted.
I strongly urge.
Order granted. Order granted. Sergeant at Arms. Sergeant at Arms.
Point of what? You're raising a
Please come to the floor. May you come to the floor for purposes of record. Point of order. Order.
I am raising a point of order to the first speaker, our deputy district governor. She rose on a point of procedure, but I think she's so much informed that she has derailed from the fact of procedure, and now she's informing. And I'm of the view that it would be in order and procedure okay that she first raises a point of procedure, then after that, if that is established, she goes back and then comes to inform us. But she cannot raise in procedure and again ends up informing us. We are confused. What exactly are you deliberating on?
Thank you, Honorable, my colleague. Yes, of course, I first raised a point of procedure and then I deliberated it. So if he's now informing me to maybe to raise a point of it is okay. I respect it, thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable. Information granted. Sergeant at Arms. Please come in 5 seconds. In 20 seconds.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity granted to me. My name is Mwangan Setimba, UFMP 10-25-1-2026. I would like to inform honorable members of this sitting inside this house about mental health. One of the problems, however much government will avail all possible solutions to mental health, but without minimizing the abductions of people, torture of people, we shall be doing nothing, but instead adding water into a lake. I would like to personally give an example based on me. I'm a relative politician, the Honorable Member of Parliament from this area, Honorable Sekabira Dennis. However much I'm living, but I'm always on pressure and tension, that it will wake up one day, I will have no words to say to his children or our relatives he's catering for. Once government has abducted him, like Mwanga Chifungi, the more we remain silent, it will reach a time when it will be happening to him or to you on whatever consequences. And on another ground is about the loss of businesses. Many people lost businesses, but we are debating about mental health, and government has not yet come out to support them. And I will also take this opportunity to inform you, Mr. Speaker, that in this constituency of Honorable Scott Dennis is at least trying to fund those people who lost their businesses. My third information to you, honorable members, is many youth are suffering the problem of mental illness because of sexual energizers. Many people are going for Puturu just to prove someone that I have energy. Someone is going for those drugs like Viagra just to prove someone that they have energy. I being a medic student from Kampala School of Paramedicals, I know their effects and they retard someone mentally. So I would like to request my honorable members to bring that forth, and I will urge the government to avail possible solutions to that. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you so much, honorable member, and honorable colleagues, please avoid avoid that. And with that said, you have a submission? Please come in 2 minutes, then lastly you. Then we close this.
Honorable Speaker, members in the House, by name of Badia Robert from Nagasaki. Honorable Speaker, I'm going to talk about two issues. One is about the education, mainly government schools and government hospitals. Honorables, when you go to Nagasaki, where I'm coming from, the situation in the government schools is frustrating. The hygiene, I know a school where latrines are already full, but the government have not done anything, and they have received the reports. So I'm urging the government to improve on that. Another thing, the environment where the students are learning from. When you go to schools and you look at the infrastructure there, the buildings, you can even cry. It cannot attract anyone to study from such environment. You know our schools, you know what I'm talking about. I therefore urge the government, if we are to produce better students, we should even change on the environment where the students are going to study from. The infrastructures, the scholastic materials in the class. One day I visited a school where I find that they have no teachers even. There were only 6 teachers at a government school. It's a shame. I want to take this opportunity to request this house if there's anything can be done to inform the government what's happening in our areas where we are coming from. The education sector, mostly government schools, it is not good. When I talk of the hospitals, we have the regional referral, which is Nagasaki Hospital. I think it's a regional referral, right? If you go there, you can't find anything provided by the government. However, it's a government school. You will have to buy medicine. If you want to get good medication, you need to get something from your pocket and give it to a doctor so that you can be given good medication. The government should enforce people like Baram and Rose Namere to visit hospitals like Nagasaki. Corruption is killing our country, and it's not only a burden to us or to our health, but also a source of poverty. We are crying of poverty. I think the money should have spent for the money we are using to buy medicine in government schools should have been spent for something else.
Point of order granted. Please come to the floor. To the floor. To the floor for the benefit of the people online.
Honorable Speaker, we, now that many of the delegates are from Luwero, we should be an epitome, like in your speech, you noted, of what we want a society to look like. The Honorable Balam and Namayanja are not government institutions. They are merely people holding leadership positions. And any time from now, the president has powers to appoint and dismiss at his will. They can be dismissed. It will be prudent for this House to call on government institutions that are constitutionally mandated with the work of doing that supervisory role. The more we empower individuals over institutions, we are going to further shrink this nation. So, mine is to call on order and also proceed that you would rather recommend that we have the office of IGG come and investigate what is taking place at Nakasongola Hospital, Nakaseke Hospital, rather than calling Balam and Honorable Namayanja. I beg to submit. Let us empower institutions.
Well, thank you.
That's not their work.
Thank you. Yes, Honorable Lady, before you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to clarify my colleague that we have been with those institutions a long time ago, but work has not been there. We've not been seeing their work. They give them the reports that this hospital, it is lacking medicine, but at the end of the year, nothing has been done. But now, since we have Honorable Balam and Honorable Namayanja, they are doing their best to ensure that services are going on well as it was budgeted. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Not granted. Please, Honorable Member, conclude.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It has been just an example, my fellow. As I conclude, Mr. Speaker, I would like to urge the government, before giving anyone government's job, they should take them anywhere and teach them what we call patriotism. Because when you look at the disease that is killing our country, it's that the employees, the government employees, are not patriotic to their country. There's no way a patriotic man can ask for money to give him free medication. I therefore call upon the government to... Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member, for that elaborative discussion and submission. Lastly on that, Honorable Chairperson, please use strictly 120 seconds.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I rise to submit on the motion that is on the paper, urging government to improve access to quality health, education, and mental health services for young people. Right Honorable Speaker, a healthy and well-educated young population is the foundation of national development. Yet too many of our young people still face barriers in access and in accessing quality education. Right Honorable Speaker, youth-friendly health services and critically mental health support. Right Honorable Speaker, in education, while enrollment has improved, quality remains uneven. Overcrowded classrooms, inadequate facilities, and high costs continue to push many out of school. In health, young people still struggle to access confidential sexual and reproductive health services without stigma or judgment. Right Honorable Speaker, most worrying is the silent crisis of mental health. Cases of mental, neurological, and subsistence use disorders have risen sharply. Young people account for a significant share of these cases. Suicide ideation is now among the leading concerns of these aged 15 to 29 years. Yet mental health, Mr. Speaker, receives less than 1% of the national health budget. Can you imagine? 1%. And services remain heavily concentrated at referral level in schools and communities across the central region. Counseling support is either weak or not existent. Academic pressure, Mr. Speaker, unemployment, family challenges, subsistence abuse are driving this crisis. We cannot build a productive generation while ignoring the mental well-being of that generation. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, this House therefore urges government to significantly increase investment in mental health and integrate services into primary health care and schools. Mr. Speaker, expand youth-friendly sexual and reproductive health services at lower level facilities. Strengthen school-based counseling, address gaps in education. Mr. Speaker, 1 second, I conclude. Address quality gaps in education through teacher development, infrastructure, and inclusive support for learners with special needs. Mr. Speaker, I conclude by saying the mind of a young person is a national resource. We must protect and nurture it. I beg to submit.
Thank you so much. You raised on one point. Please, you can take your seat. Honorable Member, you can. Yes, come in 10 seconds.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I raise, clarify on the recurring speaker, one, concerning about, when he raised his concern about mentioning the individual names, but we have to believe the role of the minister is providing direction, strategic oversight, and implementation of country's decentralization framework, which is the local government, and that's why we are saying on the quality education. Through the Right Honorable Speaker, I would like to supplement on this as a mover of the motion at a national policy level. To our nation, we are saying about quality education within our education. One of the big problems is the employment gap within our areas. The Ministry of Education, through the Service Commission that is seated opposite the Parliament, I would request the policy makers take this into action. Kindly employ or recruit teachers who are local residents within those communities. This will reduce the issue of people, those teachers, because they are not concerned within the local area. When that is done, our kids will have the quality education. I submit.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much, honorable members, for not disappointing me on that motion. That I say that it needs more attention than ever before, because health rights are human rights, and human rights are health rights. And on that, I'd love to ask of the House for us to close the motion, and I'll put it to you all that those in support say aye and those in contrary say nay. Those in support say aye and those in contrary say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Clerk, we can move to the last motion. For those that have not spoken anything, please, this is the last chance you have to say something. People of Luwero are very, very brilliant and motivated. The fact that one of the colleagues said that the word that brought the government in power came from this side, it means that you have a lot that you need to be that needs to be addressed too, as far as everything that is happening in Luwero as a reward is what you're seeing in these different services in your region worth the fate you fought for this nation. Such questions. So as we go to the last one, please, as like I've said in my communication, that Faraja is a vehicle that amplifies the voices of the youth. But even when they come here and you don't want to speak, then it will be upon you. Just like you saw in the first document we had from the EU Youth Sounding Board, in one of the questions as far as representation and all that, and you said, we need more opportunities to speak out, to amplify our voices. The opportunity is here and you're not saying anything. Now what will Dr. Jemba say if at all he meets the ambassador? So this is another chance you have as colleagues of this house to say something. Honorable Clerk, please, you can move, can proceed with the last motion. Thank you.
Thank you, right, Honorable Speaker. And on to item 6.4, which is our last motion. The motion of the Central Regional Youth Parliament urging government to strengthen transparency, accountability, and efficient service delivery in public institutions.
The motion mover, another smart lady. Let's give a round of applause for representing 60% of the ladies in this country, to be the only person that came up to move a motion. Thank you so much, Honorable Lady. That particular motion, not all motions, that particular motion. Thank you so much.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, my name is Namayanja, female youth councillor for the Town Council, and I stand to move the motion, urging the government to strengthen transparency, accountability, and efficient service delivery in public institutions. Right, Honorable Speaker, every motion this House has debated on today, jobs, digital access, health, and mental well-being ultimately depends on one thing: whether the institutions charged with delivering these services are transparent, accountable, efficient. Without integrity, our public institutions, even the best funded programs, collapse under the weight of leakage, delay, and mistrust. Right, Honorable Speaker, every shilling diverted from the health center, a vocational training grant, or a youth livelihood fund is a shilling that will never reach the young person who needed it. With Transparency International notes that corruption undermines democracy, fuels instability, and obstructs progress on national priorities. This House should hear that such a direct explanation for why so many of the interventions promised to our generations, such as job funds, skilling programs, health financing, so often fail to reach the intended beneficiaries. Right, Honorable Speaker, what is most concerning is not a single bad year, but a pattern of stagnation. Uganda's scores has hovered in the mid-20s for over 20 decades, with the historical average since 2001 sitting at 25 points, meaning that despite successive anti-corruption units, awareness campaigns, and legal reforms, meaningful improvements has proven elusive. This House must ask why and must demand more than another commission.
Well, thank you so much, Honorable Lady, for that, for moving the motion. Now I would put the House to a question as far as the seconding of the motion is concerned, and those in support of the motion say aye, and those in contrary say nay. Those in support say aye, and those in contrary say nay. The ayes have it. And now I'd love to open the House for a debate and discussion. I want to see those that have not said anything. At least come up, please. Inclusion is very, very important. And of course, accountability. For our partners like EU, would love to see that the women are well represented, everyone is being included in the debates we have, rather than having a small portion of the youth that can speak, and then the rest will just benefit from the fruits of those that have taken courage to say something in the House. Submissions? Yes, comrade, please come in. As the colleagues behind you, apart from Honorable Lady but the other two, I need after him, choose who comes first and who comes next. And then at the back, where the gentleman is, also those two ladies, please prepare to say something. Thank you so much. Please, Honorable sir, come over. You have strictly, you're a good speaker, so within 2 minutes you can bring your point home. Give us a solution. What should the government do for us as far as the motion is concerned? Thank you.
Right Honorable Sir. Right Honorable Sir. Thanks for the opportunity granted to me. Honorable members in the House, once again, Senator Rogers is my name for the record of this event. So, I've come here to discuss about the resolution that was saying, urging the government to strengthen transparency, accountability, efficient service delivery in public institutions. So, from I've come across very many challenges in our district, Nakasungula. Corruption is too much here. Transparency, not there. We are seeing accountability of what has been done is not there. So, according to the evidence of the Uganda, there is an inspector general, the recent investigation and audit reports have continued to reveal weakness in public finance management, procurement and accountability systems. The Office of the Auditor General 2025 reports highlighted the need for stronger control in government institutions to ensure public funds achieve their intended purpose. That means corruption is there and it has been looked at by very many big people up there. So, if there is corruption, how can this corruption be ended? And what is the danger of this corruption? Corruption can lead to poor service delivery. So if you come, you try to bribe to be given a job, you don't have experience, but for you have money. That means you're leaving someone who's having experience out, and for you who's having money, you come and take up. That means you'll not be able to run the machine, you'll not be able to go to a computer, and there will be poor service delivery. You leave someone who is having experience and has done that work for good time, just because he's not having money. And so the government should always come in, put up strict laws against the officials who are corrupt or who are getting involved in corruption. Always punish them. You can demote them from work. If you demote them, you tell them they go, because many are educated and they need those jobs. If corruption is taking place in big people, big offices, what is happening then down this side? So let there be transparency by also making expenditure clear on what has been done. Construction of the roads, make accountability on that. You present out that you have constructed this road because of this and this, and this is the amount of money that has been used. That is accountability, clear, and you have to know that. Then always strengthen accountability through officials making regular accountments on the public services or in public resources. Like for example, if you say that we are going to make, or we are going to construct the hospital somewhere, so I beg for something. Yes. If you are going to construct a hospital somewhere, you are going to construct a school somewhere. So you have to make accountability on those schools that have been constructed, right in records. Not saying that we have constructed a school without accountability. Without accountability, that means you are going to also impact corruption, because you will say constructed but without accountability. Yeah, you know it. That means corruption is there. So I use the 100 millions when you use 200 millions without accountability. Then lastly, about these tax collectors in our home area there, they say the people, rather than using the government pay systems, why don't they put up pay systems of the government than sending these people to come and be the tax collectors? How much money, or how are you going to account for that money as collected even at night, not today? Because they always come at night, bring. How much money do you know they have collected? And have you accounted for that money? That means that person is also corrupt. He's going to take a half of it, then he gives you a half. That means there have to be government pay systems for that. So, right, Honorable Speaker, and the room, I'd like to allow me to press my case.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member, for always submitting on researched work to that effect. Any submissions? Are you ready, or we give you more time? Yes, Ajat. Thank you so much for a round of applause. As your neighbor also prepares in yellow.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I'm Naka Botakia. I'm a youth religious leader from Luwero. I'm raised to support this motion, which goes that adding government to strengthen transparency, accountability, and efficient service delivery in public institutions. Right Honorable Speaker, a young person who wants a birth certificate or recommendation letter or to register a youth group in Luwero, and I know even in other areas in the central region here, waits for weeks or months. This wastes time and the opportunities for these youths. I urge the government to set clear timelines for service and to digitalize them. Also involve youth leaders to monitor services. For example, people, they apply for YLP, Emioga, PDM, but we don't know which the clear timelines for these programs, because they have to involve us as youths, because we are the ones on the ground. This time wasted, it affects the youth. Right Honorable Speaker, I'm a religious leader. They should also involve religious leaders. For example, when it is PDM time, let these people come in churches, mosques, and talk about that government program, so that every youth gets to know about it. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you so much, Honorable Ajati, for that submissions. Do you have someone from any cultural institution? the fact that we've heard from one from the religious perspective. Yes, Honorable Lady, you're next. Your neighbor, please. You're most welcome.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Our distinguished guests and the people in the house of the August House, I'm sorry. As our motion of today, six to 4 says, motion of the Central Region Youth Parliament urging government to strengthen transparency, accountability, and efficient service delivery to the public institution. I second the motion. Probably on accountability of the public institutions. So, my name, I'm sorry, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Nanteza Stella, Publicity, Luwero District. So, as per the motion of today, accountability of the public servant, that's where I'm going to put my remarks. So, most we go to the sub-county, our sub-counties. Let me talk about my sub-county as Wobblands Town Council. So we go there and healthy facilities. They tell us come back tomorrow, which delays our service delivery. So, me personally, I urge the government to put suggestion box to all the public offices and have a quarterly accountability meetings where LCs the youth leaders are invited. So, about that, those people in the public, those people in public services who are accountable must be disciplined. So, Mr. Honorable Speaker, I beg to submit.
Thank you so much, and you end on a very good note. Those that are not doing what they are expected of, they should be punished by the law, or as per the law. Yes, Honorable Lord Councillor, then at least choose between both of you. One, after Lord Councillor, then one can, or you can share the minutes. One speaks for 1 minute, then the other for the other minute. I'll be waiting for you. Sergeant at Arms, please, you can engage them on that. You have strictly 2 minutes. Lord Councillor, you've been good at speaking. I know you can manage time to that effect.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Protocol observed. Namayanja Eno Committee is my name, Councillor Choko Stewart, Minister for Works, Choko Town Council. I'm here to give realistic alternative under item 6, or item 6, motion 4 of the order paper, and I'm going to stick on enforcement and political will, not more paperwork. The argument is, Right Honorable Speaker, Uganda has some of the best anti-corruption laws and institutions like IGG, Auditor General, State House anti-corruption units, but these institutions are on paperwork. So I'm also going to line behind my colleague to thank Minister for Local Government, Mr. Balam, for the work. I think his work is going to make the institutions also to wake up. The problem is not a lack of strengthening laws, but a lack of political will and selective enforcement. Key talking point 1, institution overlap. I urge you that creating more resolution or committees just adds bureaucratically led top, whereby we should promote ethical leadership and continuous training for civil servants. I also call upon the government to ensure that public resources are managed openly and responsible strengthening oversight institutions. The government should also create accessible channels for citizens to report corruption and poor service delivery. Protection of whistleblowers, that is the talking point number 2. I point out that youth who speak out against local government corruption in service delivery face intimidation, which this motion likely falls to address practically. For instance, Afande Kawes, Afande Chilumira, and now we're having Mwanga Chivumbi. They decided to come out to speak the truth, and now nowhere to be seen. So I say the government should come out with protection of whistleblowers rather than leaving people unsafe when they talk the truth. As I conclude, Right Honorable Speaker, I conclude by saying we don't suffer from shortage of anti-corrupt policies, rather we suffer from epidemic of impunity. So I urge the government to do what is already enslaved in the Constitution, because it's about to become passive. We must instead demand aggressive prosecutions of corrupt officials and the protection of youth whistleblowers to make our life, or to make the life of youth safe. I would request to submit.
Thank you so much, Lord Kassler. Point of information, please, you can come to the floor. Information to the honorable member of the House. To the House? Oh, please stay around it.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I would like to inform Honorable from Joko Town Council and the person, the Honorable that comes from the same district that I come from. Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi was not speaking the truth. Mwanga Chivumbi was abusing the specific individuals. The other people, I may not go there, but I would like to inform you, as a honorable, you're not supposed to be abusive. You have to speak the truth the way you have said, but for him, he wasn't speaking the truth. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Point of order granted. Please, you can come to the floor before you comment on that.
Right Honorable Speaker, I raise on point of order. Is it in order for a honorable member to misguide this house? That as a honorable member, Mwanga Chivumbi is not supposed to abuse. Where is it written that Mwanga Chivumbi is not supposed to abuse? And what amounts to an abuse? If you have a right to free speech, and we all know where free speech is challenged, is it challenged with abductions? No, that's not the case. So I think by stating what you stated on the floor is misguiding. And I pray, Right Honorable Speaker, that he comes and withdraws that statement. Because each one of us has a right, freedom of speech. So if you feel that you have to challenge, you want to challenge what Mwanga Chivumbi has said, you go to courts of law and open up a suit against him of defamation, but you don't abduct him and he spends over a fortnight, a month, nowhere to be seen. So please, we are the light to the youth that you left in Ichiwoko, in Nakaseke. When you go back with that information, you'll be misguiding very many of them. On that matter, therefore, Right Honorable Speaker, I pray that the Honorable Member comes on the floor and withdraws that statement.
Honorable Member, you have something to say in 5 seconds? Yes. In 5 seconds, please, in regards to that, then your order is going to be taken. Then, Honorable Lord Councillor.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. If you have a freedom of speech, don't I have it to come here and I say he wasn't speaking the truth? Mr. Speaker, if they have a right of speech to speak about him, the Honorable Member said that he had a freedom of speech to come in front of the congregation and abuse people. Now, if you have a freedom of speech, don't I have a freedom of speech to come here and I say that he was not supposed?
His submission is in relation to the substance that you gave, not necessarily.
No, he wants me to withdraw.
It's on the.
And I'm not ready to withdraw.
All right.
I want him to come and explain.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah, I would also like to.
Those are the challenges we face in.
I would also like to request the Honorable that if there is freedom of speech and if you believe in justice, if you go astray of the law, where are you supposed to go? When you go astray of the law, it's like when you break the law, where are you supposed to go? Where are they supposed to take you? Basement. Yeah. I would also request the Honorable. I would also request the Honorable to come back and explain what happened to Afande Chirumira and the Kawes.
Well, thank you so much, Honorable Lord Councillor. You can take your leave. Thank you so much. You can take your leave. You can take leave. Thank you so much. You're raising on in 5 seconds, please. Then the Lord Councillor comes in within 30 seconds to.
Thank you, Right Honorable.
Can you come to the floor so that?
Thank you, Right Honorable. I want to put this clear. We should not sugarcoat what is wrong. As leaders, we have ethics and morals. And what you term to be your right, have you considered the other side? How is it affecting the other person on an individual basis? And you being a leader, you have to be exemplary from what you speak and before you use that language. I beg to submit. Hope my point is clear.
Yes, Honorable Lady, before you. Okay, granted. In 5 seconds, then Honorable. Honorable, you can be coming. Please, you can take your seat. You can take your seat.
I would like to inform the floor speaker that ever since started submitting, I'm not impressed and I feel like he's abusing me. Should I abduct him? If that's the best way we should answer.
Take your seat.
If that's the best way we should answer with our dissatisfaction with people's speech. If you're dissatisfied with someone's speech, you go to court. You don't abduct them and take them into basements. You don't abduct them and they spend a night, a fortnight with nowhere to be seen. That's the constitutional order. That's the constitutional order. There's no excuse to that.
Thank you so much. Honorable Lady, you can please make it short.
Okay, thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. First of all, when I was there, I wanted to raise a point of order that if someone raises his or her hand for a point of order, the person on the floor is supposed to resume his seat, and then this one proceeds. So that is the clarity I wanted to make when I was there.
Thank you so much.
Then allow me to to raise a point of information
Please
for the
make it
few
short.
seconds. Right Honorable Speaker, if we
Can
want...
you come to the floor so that...
if we want to promote good transparency and accountability, I want to inform this August House that slightly, if there is good governance, if we say that good governance is not measured by promises, but by the quality of services delivered to the people. Public office is a public trust. Transparency builds confidence. Accountability builds integrity. And efficient service delivery builds a nation. If we promote good governance, good accountability, and transparency, we shall be good leaders. Because one of the role of a leader is to lobby, to become overseers, and when we come to the council, our main role is to make sure that we make bylaws, but when we are at the district level, they will call them ordinances. Thank you. I beg to submit.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member, for that. And I would love to thank everyone that has deliberated in today's session. And I would love to have the final comment from our two honorable ladies at the back. You have something to say? No? Okay, thank you so much for that reply. And you're raising on what? Point of information, please do it in 30 seconds.
Much obliged, Right Honorable Speaker. Namiomba Gloria. This is something that I couldn't leave out. Honorable colleague talked about that giving the government workers or public institutions money at hand. I would like to throw more light on that. Government money, actually, on record, it shouldn't be transferred at hand. It should be transferred electronically. And if they are collecting taxes, if they are levying taxes, when they are they're telling people to give them money, that is very wrong. PRNs are registered. They have to pay money electronically. And I really thank Faraja Africa for this opportunity, because I know we as leaders, we are going to go back there and sensitize people that money should be levied. We should pay money using PRNs. Thank you. I submit.
Thank you so much for that. You're raising on a point of? Please, you can come to the floor. Make it short. I can confirm that at least 99% of the members of the House have said something, and at least most of them on record.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity granted. My name is Mwangandre Setimba, once again. Here I am back again. I would like to inform the honorable members in this August House that before this government came into power, all government workers had specific schools. As a benefit of being a government worker, you had a specific school, specific health facility funded by government where you had to take your child for education, your child for health care. But ever since they came into power, those things have faded. I don't know whether they are waiting for Noah's Ark to return for the second time, and I'm not aware. My second information to you is we are having a lot of corruption and misuse of public funds because of awarding certificates due to relationships with people and awarding certificates to foreigners. Recently, it was Governor Vamuno who was producing number plates for all motor vehicles, but after the contract was scrubbed off from him, we're having a shortage of number plates. I was listening to the radio recently that 40,000 number plates had been produced by Wavamuno daily. But when it was presented to a certain committee of the parliament, they said it was incompetitive, so they choose someone who would produce 1,000. I don't know whether that difference of 39,000 was being incompetitiveness. So I would like to urge all of us to develop a heart of patriotism and award people we know, and award on merit, not on relationships.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member, for that. And I'll put the question to the House to close the motion. And those in support say aye, and those in contrary say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Clerk. Sergeant at Arms.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. And I'd like to extend my appreciation to the House and to everyone that contributed. I'm going to, next on our item, we're supposed to have a review of the resolutions from the Parliament session. And I'm going to summarize because our time is fast spent. So on our very first motion, which was moved by Honorable Sekande Crispus and was seconded by members, we had several resolutions, and from the first submission, the House agreed that the government needs to strengthen youth employment and creation of opportunities. According to the recent employment from recent reports, 16% of employment and 16% of the youth are employed and the majority are not employed. So employment needs to enable people to develop themselves through payment of taxes and other government, and to support other government initiatives. So from this, we look at the youth being empowered more and put in positions to be employed. And then Uganda needs more practical school programs than theoretical programs. And one of the members suggested that we need to bring up a generation of youth who are job creators rather than job seekers. The House emphasized more on the issue of employment and unemployment, highlighting that over 50% of the graduates do not actually practice their professional courses that they study, but rather opt out to go out for other activities, one which was mentioned as cattle keeping. And so the government through its programs like PDM and other initiatives need to make sure that such initiatives or programs should be monitored and implemented effectively. And also we need to come up with reforms to these projects, so because we've seen that most of them come up, but their effectiveness is not being witnessed, that people are misusing the money and are putting this money into other things that they shouldn't have invested that money into. And the government needs to enable laws within the informal sector, such as health insurance, and that these will enable people and the youth under this informal sector to have a better living. Government should also empower more privatization to ensure effectiveness of some of these services that are put in place. And also government should reduce on taxes imposed on the industrial sector in order to employ more people in this sector. And government also needs to implement a policy review or check, and Uganda's issues are not lack of policy, but lack of a proper strategy and planning for these initiatives that are brought on place. An example was given in Chiwokoto, am I right? Chiwoko, yes, Chiwoko, Nakaseke district, where unemployment rate is very high since sorry about that. it was brought to our understanding that in Chiwoko, Nakaseke district, unemployment rate is very high, since the available employment opportunities do not match or do not move with the market needs, right? So government needs to take note of gender gaps that are in our population and tackle them in order to make sure that we have service delivery that cuts across to all genders, and when it comes to employment, that all genders are considered and given equal priority. And going on to the second motion, the House agreed that the government needs to enhance and to promote digital literacy and put up policies that make sure that our youth acquire this knowledge, that the digital knowledge that we are talking about, since we are in a digital era, and therefore we need to be equipped with the knowledge and understanding in order to go out there and seek for these opportunities. And then government should enhance, yes, it's the same point, a Right Honourable Speaker emphasized more on government enhancing digital literacy among the youth, especially in schools in rural areas, because we noticed that these services are already in urban areas, and therefore they also need to implement them more in the rural areas. And then government needs to ensure all this was lying on the same point of promoting digital literacy. And from the third submission, the House agreed that every young person requires digital skills in order to navigate the current digital economy, and therefore emphasized government to include a digital literacy program in the national curriculum. Right? You in agreement or? Oh, okay. I saw you nodding your head, so maybe I needed to be corrected, but it's okay. And going on to the third motion, we saw that government needs to strengthen quality, relevant education services to young people, since young people are not merely beneficiaries of the services, but should participate in the implementation and delivery of these services in order to see this great goal of having a healthy and better Uganda. Then good health and quality education are fundamental human rights, and therefore mental health remains neglected, even with its visible effects among the Ugandan population. And therefore government needs to invest more into the education system, even in the health facilities, that we need to have services that help or engage people or assist people or counsel people and provide people with this knowledge about mental health, since we've seen that most of these things that are happening to the youth, it's because of not giving so much attention to this mental health. So government needs to improve access to quality education and mental health services in different societies, since we've seen that lack of drugs in medical facilities have contributed largely to the poor mental health of our citizens. And then government should consider setting up medical or a referral hospital in Nakasonga district, where one of our honorable members brought it to our understanding that they do not have a referral hospital in their district. I do not know how true it is, but it was submitted. And then government should also provide free medical services to its population in order to improve their health. So that government needs to put up youth-friendly corners in health centers. And government needs to put up to offer free medical services in these health centers. And also government needs to plan and budget for the youth in our adolescent stage to support youth, especially girls, who usually in their menstrual periods need to have sanitary pads, and therefore through such programs the government can provide such services to the youth, especially to our girls. And then also government should promote having peer support programs in communities and in our academic institutions. And then government also needs to address social issues through sensitization of teenagers, tackling issues that like teenage pregnancies and other social challenges among the youth. And then young people, who are the majority of Ugandans, find it so hard to clear their medical bills, since we've discovered that our medical centers or our health facilities are one of those that are so expensive, and we've realized that most of our youth are not able to finance themselves or able to access these services because their financial pockets are really not to the level that can match such services. And then we've seen that government needs to invest more in quality education and better health services. Government, through the Ministry of Education and Ministry of Health, need to put up measures to curb the rise of mental health issues in the country. And then we've seen that government needs to set up institutions of learning in the region to cater for students with disabilities. Government needs to add more means of transport to schools and medical facilities in order to reduce the issue of school drop-outs and premature death caused by delayed medical attention. The government should promote sexual education and incorporate it. The government needs to promote sexual education and incorporate comprehensive sex education among the youth, starting from the age of 14. The government should implement sanitation measures to the maximum. Well, we've seen that from the recently declared National Cleaning Day, every last Saturday of the month, it has been observed that even after the cleaning, sacks of garbage are still on the streets of the country. And therefore, government needs to ensure effectiveness of these policies that are put in place. So government should not only focus on better education and health services, but it should also respect human rights, as this will contribute largely to the good or to a better mental health of its citizens. Government schools and government hospitals, most of these facilities are in poor conditions, and therefore the government needs to provide better health services and education services to its citizens. And government should also employ people. Also, government, before employing people, should ensure that they undertake patriotism education. And so government, through the Ministry of Education, should increase funding to mental health facilities across the country, because we've seen a significant increase of these cases, and therefore the government needs to significantly increase funding and promoting of this mental health education, in institutions of learning. And government needs to employ local residents in these education and health institutions in order to ensure a more patriotic and effective service delivery. And on to our last motion. The House agreed that the government should set strict laws and implement them, especially among civil servants, through auditing and employment of personnel that are qualified for the job. The government should also emphasize more of accountability on all government projects. The government should digitalize the revenue sector rather than collecting taxes through individuals who misuse the money and do not give proper accountability. And then government should set clear guidelines and set timelines on which their projects operate and are delivered. And the government should also install suggestion boxes on all public service facilities and holding quarterly accountability meetings, including all public servants. And then the last one being, government should create accessible points where citizens can report corruption cases. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Clerk. Let's give him a round of applause. And at this particular time, we shall have closing remarks, one from a representative from Rose Namayanja Foundation. Then later on, we shall have the other from Faraja Foundation Africa. A round of applause as Pape is coming.
Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in all your capacities, a very good afternoon. I am profoundly excited by what I've seen today. I've been part of the Central Youth Parliament, the National Parliament, and the East African Parliament for a couple of years, and I had a break. What I saw today is very commendable. I got a feeling that in you and such people like you, we have a promising new generation of leaders. If many of the things that you acclaim to aspire and subscribe to are really put at the best of your hearts for you to implement. Number two, I was impressed by the decorum in the House, right from the Speaker and all the way to the presenters, to the members of Parliament in this particular session. But I could also feel the patriotism running across in the articulation of the different areas. I was also very touched by that areas had to really ensure that they are not left out. So Luwero, Nakasongola, Nakaseke, and I could feel everybody's fighting to get their issues articulated. Then I also saw the desire for the rule of law. Then I saw the desire for making the points hard in whatever sense it were. So for me, on behalf of the organization, the Rose Namayanja Foundation, I think we are very happy that it was worth our being partners in this. It wouldn't have been very possible without the eloquent and efficient administration of the Speaker. I saw the vibe requesting for an election of a Speaker, and I think many people did not know the modalities as to how this particular Parliament operates. And I think after 2 sessions, then we do have another Speaker. So the Speaker did very well. I want to thank the Sergeant at Arms. I almost felt that he was going to take me out because my purpose of coming here was just a brief one, and then I go to some other, so my heart I was not for this house. So every time he came up, I felt that he was going to take me out. But I'm lucky that I'm still available. So Sergeant at Arms, Clerk to Parliament, and all the other dignitaries, really, thank you so much. My prayer on that issue is that you don't stop here. We want to see you in national parliament. We want to see you representing your people. And we should stand back and say the efforts that we did into this youth parliament as a nation and as a whole as East Africa, that effort has yielded results. The English, the articulation of the issues, the technicalities from that corner, point of order, point of all those things. I really got very excited. So I'll take very good news on behalf of you, that if there is anything that we need to do with you again to continue this process, we should, and then make sure that we can also maybe increase our financial obligations to this particular venture. Now, my take home for me, your motion on youth employment skills, I learned that Uganda's greatest resource is its young people. So investing in these people like you is really to be on the right track. On the digital literacy, without repeating what has been said, I mentioned that I learned that technology is no longer a luxury, but it is a must that everybody must embrace. But the question of embracing this technology, is it to the detriment of your neighbor, of fleecing people, of misinforming people? What should this technology be for you? It should be a basis that actually even without a formal job, you can use technology to earn money. A lot of Ugandans, Mr. Speaker, are earning lots of money. I would love to mention names, but I don't want to be taken. I saw many lawyers here, so I don't want to be taken to court, but I know there are many Ugandans making a lot of money out of the digital technology and the digital fame. So I think it's something as the youth, if anything, it's something you must embrace and embrace for the betterment of this country. Actually, you can use technology to fight corruption. Because if you expose some of the things you do by some of these you call them selfies, whatever that you record and post, I mean, why shouldn't we be able to do that? It's possible that we can intelligibly use technology. On the question of the quality of health and mental education, I realize that health for an educated population is the backbone that makes a foundation for a nation to go forward. In Japan, the life expectancy is about 120 years. Our life expectancy here is barely 60 to 70 years. And I know the figure could even be lower. But I know even you know better. So the more we have better health, in all its facets, mental health, reproductive health, general health, the moment we have that sorted out, then it must be something that we can do. Now, you as a leader, your role is to emphasize that communities and homesteads can actually embrace preventive health solutions, sanitation, and those things that you do. You are well dressed here, all of us. But the question is that what is our background, even as homesteads? It starts with us, and it spreads into the community and all over the nation. I don't want to take much of your time. There is a question on accountability. That one has been demanded of government. And I've been asking myself, what is government? And I realized that government has legally the three arms of government: the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. Where does it leave the civil society and you and me, the citizen? We are all governments. Actually, as a testimony to this, the elections that took place yesterday were a manifestation of a new breed of excitement in this country I'd taken long to see for any elective post. I could see people vouching for their members, LC1 members, in a very, 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 very energetic and invigorating way. So that means that government is also you. Even as you sit here, you are part of government. So it's your role to make sure that our government, Mr. Speaker, becomes better by we ourselves. I want to go to the end note, that we are going to leave here having spoken a lot of English and a lot of point of correction, point of all those things you say. Good things. What is your take home? The take home is not a transport fund. That for me is not the issue. Your take home is what you are going to infuse into the people you have as a sphere of influence. And exactly what do I mean? If you are not the following things, if you are not, and I would want to underline, Mr. Speaker, if you are not dependable, and you're not reliable, and you're not trustworthy, and you're not predictable, you will not have anybody who follows you, even if you tried and tried as many times. You've seen people who were fainting yesterday when they were looking behind and there's nobody on their line. LC1 elections. If you are dependable, you become insobokable. That's not parliamentary language. If you are reliable, you become ungendekable. But if you are dependable and reliable, you become unbogable. And the only way that even when the phase comes, whatever comes, the storm comes, if you're dependable, reliable, trustworthy, and predictable, you're likely to win. You can bank on that as money itself, actually. Because for wherever money is given, wherever trust is given, wherever leadership is given and entrusted, the basis for each of those tenets in all our spheres of life is dependability, reliability, being predictable, and being trustable. Try lack of trust in a relationship. Try a lack of dependability in a working environment. Try a lack of predictability in an institution where you don't even know whether your lecturer is coming or not. Try it for a member of parliament or a leader who doesn't even come back. You say, it's not dependable. With those few remarks, I want to wish you all the best as we get into the next cycle of this parliament. We want to look and identify wherever you are to make sure that we can work with you in a special way. Reach us as well if you have any plan, any program that empowers you but also empowers the youth and the people that you lead. Let us be in touch and communicate as a consortium, Rose Namayanja Foundation and Faraja Foundation. May the peace of the Lord that transcends all understanding be with each one of you in your lives now and forevermore. Amen.
Thank you so much. A round of applause to our representative from Rose Namayanja Foundation. Please, a big round of applause. I can allow you now to clap. Please, you can clap.
Just allow me to recognize my colleagues, Birabwa Juliet, Paineto. We work together. Please stand up. Where is Julie? Julie, wherever you are. And very lastly, Salongo. Hey,
Salongo.
Mumumanyi.
A round of applause.
Mumumanyi, a round of applause for him. A round of Salongo Kamia. Thank you so much for the work that each one of us does. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member, for such kind remarks. And then at this particular time, allow me also welcome the big person, the biggest in the house, none other than Miss Shalom, a representative from Faraja Foundation Africa. A round of applause. We can clap now.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. First of all, I would like to thank you very much. I don't think I can say something better than the incumbent speaker. That was a very nice speech, really. And not to take so much of your time, I wanted to address a few issues that were highlighted at the beginning of the session, if with permission. So one of the things that were raised was on the issue of the speaker and regional representation. So this is a central subnational youth parliament. We all understand that we are not the only district. We are a number of districts that encompass the central region. However, due to diversification, we were of the view that let us have this rotational, meaning that other districts can be able to participate. However, this is the second sitting of the 8th subnational youth parliament. That means that the speakers in each region serve for 2 years. This comes as a word of comfort that the next time we are in Luwero, we'll be voting for our speaker, who will probably serve for other for the next 2 years. Is that comforting enough or not? It is? Can I have the room say yes? Thank you very much. That is the goal, and the idea is to have everyone participate equally and have voices echoed. At the end of the day, you are not only speaking on behalf of Luwero, you are speaking on behalf of the young people in the central region. So that brings me to my next point. On the issue of transport refund, I believe each one of you has been reached out to by the project officer in regards to confirmation of how much you have used and how much to be compensated and so on. We also have the finance officer right behind there in case you have any issues that you feel like need to be addressed urgently. Mr. Mathias, please stand up for recognition. Yes, he's right there in case of any issue that you'd like to be addressed. And usually refund does not take more than a day. You'll receive it by the next day. My last point, yes, I believe all of you have been approached. You've also addressed how much you are to be refunded, how much you've used, and you'll be compensated accordingly. Please do not worry. Then the last issue, I'd like to thank our partners and your time. Thank you so much for being smart. Thank you for deliberating. And thank you for speaking on behalf of the young people in the central region. Your issues will be taken to the next level. Let us see how the National Youth Parliament goes on the 7th August. We have a very wide country. We hope that we have very vibrant people that will come to the next level. Please make sure that you watch and follow us on all social media platforms and be on the lookout for more opportunities that are yet to come. Once again, thank you very, very much for your deliberations. Have a very great day.
Thank you so much. A round of applause. Please let's give a very big hand clap to Ms. Charom. And then before we close this session, I would love to, we shall have a group photo here after a closure. Then I would love to also invite the coordinator, the person that coordinated this sitting. Ms. Charom, who was in charge of coordination? Please, Mama, can you just for a second? You need a very big hand clap for mobilizing such brilliant minds. At least every person in this house has a title. Either I'm a religious leader, I'm a councillor, a woman representative, something like that. It's amazing to see that in Luwero, the sitting has been more vibrant than one in Kampala, where we normally have students. But here we're having the real people that are in charge of decision making and sit at the table where great minds think and make sure that they implement decisions that have been made at all levels. Please, in just maybe 1 minute, you can say hi to... Oh, sorry.
Good evening, everyone.
Good afternoon.
My name is Mbatude Joanne from Luwero District Female Affairs. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. Let's give her a very big hand clap. And you should get in touch with her every time. In case you want to take over this seat, you need to be a friend to her. We have certificates to be awarded to the different members that have participated, and this will be part of your CV. It has a one from the National Parliament, meaning that it's not, we didn't just have to come here to speak, but also we've been now rewarded with something to go home with. And if you get this certificate, just know it's out of what you've done today, either you've spoken or not spoken, you deserve it. Thank you so much. And then with that said, should we first have a photo before we close? We shall have a photo moment. Please let everyone come behind me so that we can have a photo moment. House adjourned signed in for the next sitting will be communicated accordingly. Then lastly, colleagues, I would love to implore all of you that this is not just a cultural practice that we are doing. It's something that we can look up to in the next 5 years. The National Youth Parliament in this recently concluded elections in January, at least 60% of the youth leaders across the entire country passed through the National Youth Parliament. Be Honorable Lydia Naba, be Honorable Ninyamitoro, all those, they passed through the National Youth Parliament. So after this sitting, network with the different people from Nakasongola, Nakaseke, we have Nkoyoyo from Mukono, you know, the next member of parliament, replacing Nambozi and all that. So endeavor to take it serious. It's not on record. And then for the people that felt bad in any way, please, we are very sorry for that. Let's keep the emotions. We are one. We are youth. Thank you so much, and let's have a photo moment together.